want to introduce yourself?
Everyone knows who I am.
This is Nick Tactics time.
Nick Tactics time.
Where
Nick does tactics.
Right, we were about to look at your tactics summary.
Yeah. Oh man, this is sad.
Oh,
I haven't done any puzzle. I did one puzzle correctly this month.
One puzzle correct in the month of May.
I'm about 1,700. All right, Ariev.
All right, so what are we gonna do?
Whoever else sees this, you're probably still better at puzzles than me.
Are we doing hard?
Of course. You have to do them hard.
Why?
Don't question me.
Okay.
This is what you told me.
I told you hard?
Yes, you did.
I always did them on just regular.
That is not regular. There's medium, hard, and
Standard.
easy. That is standard. That's standard on hard.
No.
You told me that. I thought it was hard difficulty.
I don't.
That's what you told me.
I don't think you got to do hard difficulty.
That's what you said.
Nah.
Oh man.
Nah.
Okay. Well, that looks like a free night. Are we? Let's see what I'm missing. I'm missing something. Oh, okay. They're attacking our knight too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Way too shallow. Alright, puzzle's probably around 1700, 1800. If it's my level. Okay. Got any checks? Yes, we have one check. Is that it? Okay, captures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 captures? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think so. And threats? 1. Let's see 1 threat. Missing a threat. Maybe. Okay. So I got my candidate moves. Assess material. We are down upon. Is that right? 6 on 7.
Looks like that, yeah.
Down upon. So either again.
But it's been sacrificed. Oh, look, we get.
Oh, we got brownies.
Brownies right in the middle of
that.
tactics time.
Oh, wait, come say hi on the stream.
We're going to be doing Nick Tactics time.
We're doing Nick Tactics time. That's right.
Come into the camera so they can see you and say hi.
Want to say hey to everybody?
Wave.
You're not on.
Oh, you got a car.
All right, well,
Where
get
you
out.
going?
Hey, get out of here.
He didn't want to do it.
All right.
I guess I should calculate the check first, right?
Yeah, well, I was thinking, your whole point about not being able to take the knight because your H4 knight is hanging, that when you play rook takes rook, if he has to take back the queen or bishop, he will not win that knight on H.
True.
So that forces king takes,
Yeah.
and so that's probably the beginning of our line here because
So rook
that's
takes
very
king takes.
forcing.
Rook takes rook, king takes. We have a Zwischenzook.
Mm-hmm.
We got knight g6 check.
Right.
And
Which forces
a king move.
But a particular one.
Well, let's see. What's wrong with king e8?
You would take a free knight.
Okay, what's wrong with what's wrong with king g8?
You would take a free knight.
And the only
possibly even by
the only other move would be king f7, attacking our knight, right?
Right.
Okay.
Forced.
Yeah. Forced. I'm wondering. We have new checks in that position, right? We have. Do we? No, we don't. Yeah, we do. We have rook f. We have rook f, but they could play king takes knight still, or they could play knight f6. We play rook f1. Knight checks with the king on f7 are knight takes e5 or knight h8. I don't really like either one of those at first glance. So one is sacking a knight because they can play pawn takes knight. And the other one is be followed by queen takes h8. And I'm still missing something.
Well, is king f7 refuting knight g6 because you had another check of rook a to f1.
Oh, well, there's also queen f2. There's queen f4. I
Queen
guess.
f2, queen f4 are a little rough.
But also bishop takes you. No, that's not. King's on f7. I'm not seeing another check. Maybe that's where I'm going wrong. So you saw another check in that position?
No, I mean after rook takes rook, king takes f8, you could play rook a f1.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sure. But knight f6.
Right.
I did notice if we just play I don't know that it matters, but if we have if we play d takes e4, bishop takes knight, we do have a check on d5 now. We have queen d5. I don't know if that matters, but I think it might if we say play queen d5 after like bishop takes knight, right? And then king h8, rook takes rook, queen takes rook, bishop takes h4.
You in line again?
The line I was saying was d takes knight,
Mm-hmm.
bishop takes knight, queen d5 check, king h8, rook takes f8 check, queen takes f8, bishop takes h4.
Sure, but
The
what
queen
about...
be deflected there.
Yeah, but what about d takes e and then black plays rook takes rook?
Okay, rook takes rook. It's black's turn. They play bishop takes knight. Okay, so they get rid of the issue.
Right.
So now I'm wondering if we play rook takes rook, king takes rook, rook f1 check, king g king g8.
Knight f6?
King g8 wouldn't happen because knight f6. Yeah.
Right. And we didn't... There's no continuation after knight f6?
But it might be. I haven't really looked at it.
Not likely. I mean, it seems like you could play knight f6.
Yeah, maybe knight g6, but I don't know if that really helps me enough. Because king f7, and I can't play my check on d5 anymore because knight takes queen. Also, they could just play king takes knight. So. What am I missing?
So what about rook takes rook, king f8 forced, then pawn takes knight?
Okay, bishop takes bishop. Or bishop takes knight, sorry. Do we have queen f2 there? Maybe.
I think we might. I think that might be it.
I'm trying to understand why. So the reason this would work is that we add an attacker to h4 and we give a check, so we don't lose any time. Right? So.
All right, but also black can play bishop f6, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They got a piece, we got a piece. I'm struggling to see how after bishop f6 that matters. Like if that, I don't think that helps us enough. Because our queen's now on this dark diagonal, but I want to deflect the queen somehow. Bishop f6. Can't play bishop takes e5, pawn takes. We can play bishop h4, or they can play g5.
What about just knight takes, king takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, queen takes, and then queen takes d6, check.
I wasn't following.
Okay. So,
You said.
starting position, rook takes, king takes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we play pawn takes,
Pawn takes, bishop takes.
bishop takes, okay. And then bishop takes again,
Queen takes.
takes. And then we have queen
Then
takes
you say
d6
queen
check,
d6, yeah.
right? Which will also pick up the e-pawn,
Uh-huh.
winning 2 pawns. Is that what 2 pawns?
Winning 2 pawns? So what, they play king e8? No. King g8? Well, we're down a pawn. So that's not enough. That'd be a 1 point advantage, right?
Maybe. I'm just saying queen d6 comes with check and threatens to win another pawn.
Yeah. Oh, we're down a pawn. Doesn't feel right. A rook takes, king takes, knight g6, king f7. Is there anything there? Hi, David.
David has joined the chat.
You want to help us, David? It's a chess puzzle. We're on chess tempo, and it's white to move.
What is this? This is knit tactics time, where we start a puzzle that's at Nick's level, trying to figure it out.
See how long it takes me. It's already been 12 minutes, and I don't feel like I'm any closer. I've made no progress. I mean, I made a little bit of progress, but it's not enough. Rook takes, rook, king takes.
I mean, it seems like the lines start with rook takes, right?
I guess so.
Because otherwise, if you take with the pawn right away, rook takes rook is kind of like
he's in Utah. That's cool.
getting rid of your only check, right?
Yep. That is our only check. That makes any sense.
And it's forcing because you have to play king f.
Yes. Okay, so rook takes rook. Start on the first move. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know the National Open was next week.
2.
Oh, I didn't know it was anytime soon at all. I don't know when it is.
So rook takes, king takes.
Pawn takes knight, bishop takes. Queen f2, bishop f6. So what about instead of queen f2, maybe rook f1?
Rook f1 seems kind of a so what.
It seemed like the same thing. I mean, they could still play bishop f6.
If they wanted to, but it's not forced. Also any key move.
Yeah.
Maybe even totally literally.
you have a way to like threaten the queen on move 2? I don't really see a way. I guess it could also be like a quiet move. I didn't really look for any quiet moves. Like we could just move the queen somewhere safe. Like queen e3. That doesn't seem like all that great. Or queen e2. Queen d1. Literally anywhere. Almost anywhere. I didn't calculate all my captures. I haven't looked at bishop takes e5 at all. Although it doesn't seem very good.
Yeah, knight takes queen.
Yeah.
You have to have something pretty forcing after that, right?
And I haven't looked at queen h6 or queen b4 either. I don't really think I should. But,
Yeah, those are hard to
I
justify.
guess
right?
queen h6, pawn takes queen. Yeah, I feel pretty silly, so that's not gonna work. I guess we have a check on move 2 if we play like knight f5. But that doesn't seem very good either. Or also knight g6 is a threat on move 1.
Yeah, not nearly as big.
Not very good.
I mean, the most forcing line we got was rook takes rook, king takes f8, knight to g6, king f7, all forced. Right?
Just about. We have knight takes e5. Pawn takes.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't see how that's helpful, but it is another check.
The only thing is, there is like after knight g6, you could play pawn takes, and then after king takes knight, queen f2 would be a mate threat.
Where
But-
on
but-
f5?
But you
On
can play
f5?
king h7. Yeah, but you can play king h7 or probably anywhere.
H7.
Bishop f6, so on.
There's like a light squared weakness on the diagonal between a2 and g8.
Yeah.
I want that to be important, but it doesn't feel important enough. I want to just take the knight now. I want to take it right now. Rook takes rook, rook takes rook. Bishop takes h4. Queen d5.
Oh,
King
I think
h8.
this is simpler than we're making it out to be. Am I wrong?
Probably is. I just don't see it. They're usually pretty simple. Pawn takes knight, rook takes rook. Rook takes rook, check. Rook takes rook. queen on like c4. Why can't I get it there? Pawn takes knight, rook takes rook. Rook takes rook. Bishop takes knight. The pawn's on b7, so there's no like. It's not like I'm winning the rook on a8. There's no queen d5 forky fork. And if I play rook takes, king takes, knight g.
David's
Yeah.
coming to the same conclusion.
Yeah, we thought thinking the same thing. I just rook f8, king f8, knight g6. Might not be knight g6, I guess. It's not forced.
Yeah, I mean, d takes c is the next forcing thing.
Bishop takes.
Mm-hmm. You have queen d5 here, which threatens nothing.
Yeah, sure. Seems like it. Seems like it threatens nothing. It's a hard time visualizing. Rook takes rook. King takes. Pawn takes knight. Bishop takes.
Yep, he's forced to take the king. Because that's, it would ruin black's plan if he had to play queen or bishop takes.
Yes.
Because the knight on h4 would no longer be hanging.
Maybe there's a mate threat on d5. Like, yeah. We came to the same conclusion already.
Well, actually, no.
Right.
That wasn't. It's not losing because if d takes e, bishop. Well, you can trade rooks first, but if you take the line and go d takes e, bishop takes knight, I would say bishop takes knight, bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop. The d6 pawn is hanging for black, and that comes with check. And then white's picking up the e5 pawn after that. But because white's only up a pawn there, the conclusion it came to was that that's not winning for white. So, although white might be better.
Yeah, I think white's better. I don't think that's enough.
Yeah.
Hi, David. Mo needs a new phone. Rook takes, king takes. Knight g6 is not forced. You could play pawn takes, right? Then bishop takes. King is on f8. Okay. Play bishop takes, queen takes. And then rook f1. And
Which would be a legitimate check, right? Because it's not blockable at that point.
yeah, and so king e8.
Also not forced.
Yeah, they could play king
You could
e7,
play-
they could play king g8.
Right. Lots of options. Usually
One
that's
of those three moves.
usually that's not it, right?
Okay, yeah.
but we still do get to play queen d6 there, check.
Not of king e7. But
No. I mean, instead of.
oh yes,
Right.
okay, yes.
Just
Instead
leave the
of
king on
rook
f8.
f1.
Yeah.
Okay, and then rook f1 maybe. If king e8. And it will
King e8 seems pretty bad because then rook
Yes.
f1 is pretty strong.
So
right?
king g8.
Yeah, king g8. And then, is there anything better than just bishop queen takes pawn? You can play queen d5, then take pawn on b7, but that's probably the not the correct pawn to gain. Well, there comes a tempo on the rook. I don't know. And then where's the rook going?
Oh, I just don't know. I don't know what I'm missing. I don't know what I don't know.
All right. I think maybe we need to just relieve the audience of the suspense. So we're gonna do rook takes rook.
Yeah, let's play the first one. Because I think it's forcing.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could play queen f0.
Queen f0. Yeah.
Oh, that's not even that good. I can still play knight f6. Alright, knight g6, I guess. And then what?
You sure on knight g6?
No.
I feel like the more promising line is pawn takes knight, but
I just don't know
it's
why.
not a check. So
Just
I
don't
get
know
you.
why. So after bishop takes. I want to make thread or something, but I don't see any make threads. Alright, pawn takes knight, and then bishop
Just-
takes knight. And then what?
Just for a moment. Let's say we just allow these trades. Pawn takes knight, bishop takes knight, bishop takes bishop, queen takes, and then we play queen d5, saying no king, cannot retreat back.
Okay.
G8.
Okay.
Threatening rook f1 on the next move. What is black's response to that?
Queen e7.
Okay. Queen e7. Rook f1 check.
King e8.
Queen g8 check.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, wins the rook.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that forced? Queen e7, rook f1. Oh, queen e7, rook f1.
King e8 is forced. Unless you
It
give it a queen.
is forced, right?
And queen g8. That one's a rook, so you
Okay,
can't do that.
What's
No
wrong
queen,
with queen e7?
no queen e7.
What
right?
else? What else other than queen e7? Yeah.
Right.
They don't have any checks on our dark diagonal.
Nope. Because we have a pawn on e4 and it blocks all that.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, yeah, I didn't see that. I was thinking queen d4 maybe.
Well, queen d4 would be a good move for black because you trade queen
But it's
off the
illegal,
threat,
yes.
right? Yes,
That's
but it's
illegal.
illegal. Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Pawn takes knight. Bishop takes bishop. Bishop takes bishop. Queen takes bishop. You're saying queen d5.
Queen
You're saying a
d5.
quiet move on the last.
Queen
move.
d5, no retreating to g8 for the king.
Controlling
Okay.
2 squares around the king.
Right.
King
let's
e7. King e7.
Right. King e7, rook f7.
No, I'm saying after queen d5, king e7.
I know.
Rook f1.
Rook f1, sure. Renewing a threat of rook f7.
Queen h5.
Queen h5.
Controlling the square. We have queen takes b7. That wins.
That should have been the option, not rook f1. Yeah, so you can't play king e7 because queen takes b7 picks
Yeah.
the rook up.
So that's okay. So that works.
Okay.
Queen d5. I couldn't see that at all. I mean, I guess it's a solution, but I just
So controlling the king. That's the only reason you would see it, right?
yeah, I couldn't spot that at all.
But it might not be the right
Yeah,
continuation.
but it looks
I'm
pretty good.
struggling to find something for black. Maybe What about pushing the G pawn to try and build more retreat squares?
What? Oh, for black. Okay,
Sure.
No, I'm not doing that. You mean
Well, like G5, right? Giving him the most space possible. Then we play Rook F1 check, and he wants to go to G7. Are we still mating?
play rook takes, or we play rook f7 or queen f7?
Probably queen.
Yeah, queen f7, king h8,
Yeah, king h8.
and then don't know. Guess we could. Well, we can take on g7, g6.
Well, if he's played G5, in that position we play queen to F6. Right?
No, because their queen's on h4. Maybe a
Yes, but if their pawn is on G5, the queen on
it
H4
blocks,
will not be able to.
that, yes. And then we'd see like a repetition almost. Run it like right.
King H7.
Yeah. I guess we could get out of the. No, it doesn't work because queen e7.
Right.
Yeah.
And then black's in trouble. You get mated, right?
No. I'm saying queen e7. How are they getting mated?
Queen e7 check. King goes where?
King h8.
King h8.
Oh, rook f7.
Rook f7, but there's a check on
Yeah, we have
e1,
queen on e1. Queen e1 to worry about.
which forces the rook back.
So I'm saying I don't think black's getting mated.
All right, so G5 unravels it for him.
Guess. Wait, let's see something else. Okay, pawn takes, bishop takes. Pawn takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, queen takes.
Queen d5.
It doesn't feel forcing.
G5.
It doesn't feel forcing enough. Yeah, g5. Rook f1.
Well, then we can play queen takes d6, right?
g5, queen takes d6.
That might be the way.
King g8.
King g8.
Rook f1. Now? No.
Well, now you can play queen e6, right? And if you go to dark square, you'll take on e5 a check.
Yeah, the problem with g5 seems to be it cuts off the square for the queen.
Yeah.
Or it cuts off the queen's connection.
Is g6 not good enough? If you
Yeah, what
play
about
G6?
just g6? So queen takes d6. King g7. I kind of want to go to c7 and try to take on b7, like a fork there. Or maybe we just go back to d5. No, because they can stay on the back rank.
All right. It's time to flip a coin.
No.
What do you think?
No.
I couldn't see anything after knight g6, rook f1, king takes knight.
I can't
And
either.
pawn takes, and this line that we're looking at seems extremely dangerous for black. Extremely
It
dangerous.
does
for
look
black.
dangerous, but I don't know.
You don't
I
believe-
think it might be perpetual. I think
You don't
black's
believe
gonna draw.
Hey, after all these lines where we play rook f1 and king goes to g7, we always had queen takes b7 when we were up.
To g7? Where's our
b7. Yeah. So the line is, okay, pawn takes knight, bishop takes knight, bishop takes bishop, queen takes, queen d5,
Uh-huh.
and if he
G6.
pushes a g pawn and we play rook f, and he goes to g7,
Yeah, but
we
king
play-
g8. Oh, that's illegal.
illegal. Right?
Oh yes.
Then we play queen takes
Okay,
b7
so
and
it's
pick the
not,
rook
it
up.
just works,
Yeah, so it just works.
yeah. Yeah. I
So we
think
found the win.
I guess. I'm playing it. Pawn takes e4.
Okay. Alright, so we're just gonna take. We're gonna take again?
Okay. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
That was hard.
Yeah, and so.
1990.
Oh, it doesn't even
Ooh,
say
doesn't
take
even
back.
it.
It
Just
doesn't
take-
even say
but
take back.
it.
What?
But do it.
Oh.
Extra
my
queen
goodness.
it takes h4. Let's see this.
Extra. Where are we doing this? Here, you take over.
We're going
Queen takes h4. Yeah. Oh, this doesn't actually get shown over here.
Yeah.
And it is queen d5.
It is our move.
And it's minus, and it's
the
6
best-
points
and
for
this
what?
was what we thought
Knight
was their
g6,
best
rook
option
f1
was.
check. Oh, it actually says queen f4. Yikes.
Okay, that's of course it does.
But queen
here's a
G7, queen
more-
takes B7 leads to mate.
Yeah. And
So it's even
here-
worse than just yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a mate, obviously. So. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's
you
right.
know what I meant. You know what I meant. I meant
Yeah, yeah.
D7.
Okay, so we found it.
Oh.
Oh,
That one. Why do we have to start with like a monster puzzle?
that was a pretty rough one right there, right out of the gate.
That was almost
'Cause
a 2000 puzzle.
Queen D5 as a move for quiet move. Rough.
Yeah, move 4 quiet move is pretty
Rough.
That's pretty mean actually.
Rough.
I like that. Let's see what the comments say.
The point is, queen. Yeah.
Queen E5, King E8. Okay. The game finish was brutal. Rook takes F8. King takes. D takes. Bishop takes. Queen takes H. They did play it. Queen D5. Rook E8. They played Rook E8. Rook F1. King E7. Rook F7.
Queen D8. Rook
King
King
D8.
D8. Queen takes D6. Obviously.
Queen takes
Yeah,
D6,
you know,
and
this
you
this
lose
might be one if you
because we're
played
mating
it.
on C7.
If you played it in a game, you might be more likely to find this than if it were presented to you as a puzzle, because
Maybe.
you would just say, well, I don't, you know, you would give up the fact that there's some sort of like concrete winning a piece type of tactic, and then you say, oh, but Queen D5.
Yeah,
I would love to play that position, and then the computer's like, yeah, well, you would because it's +6.
See, I might not see this in a game. I don't think I would.
Yeah.
No.
I
If it's my
mean, all
turn,
the
if it's
tra-
my
all the-
turn, I might just take the pawn. I think I'd just take the pawn.
All the trades are forced. Well, this is again like
This is a pretty nice find.
this again like the way you find this is just by like prioritizing controlling the king, because
Yeah.
you know if the king gets over to G and H, it'll be perfectly safe. So, yeah. Wow, nice one.
Okay, equal material. Our king's looking a little exposed.
All right. So this is like kind of like the last problem. It's like, hey, can't we just take this bishop?
Yeah.
What do we think?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe we can.
I don't know if I want to. Might not have a choice. Might have to. Because I'm trying to see what their follow-up is. It seems like my first thought is rook takes c3. And maybe they'll play... Well, it's our turn, so... Maybe we could play bishop c2 with the plan of going to b3.
Come again? You're just gonna not take the bishop?
No, b takes bishop.
Sure.
Rook takes c3. I'm saying maybe something like bishop c2 with the plan of going to b3. But even if like queen b6, I'd be worried about rook takes bishop. I guess not. I shouldn't be because queen takes.
Yeah,
Queen takes rook. We'd be fine. Okay. We also have a check on d8 if the rook moves and the d file opens. We want to play rook e1, but we can't because of the bishop. And the only checks we have will be on the dark diagonal or on d8. So we have light square bishop. Man, I just feel like this is one of those puzzles where it's like, yeah, everyone takes the bishop.
Yeah, everyone takes the
You
bishop.
probably got to take it first. But then...
Well, you know, if you saw this in a game, you would definitely slow down.
I'd
Like,
slow down.
whoa.
Because I mean, what are black's checks?
What's
They've
happening here?
They've got queen b6,
Who?
and that's forking the f2 pawn.
Right. So
But why do I care?
Who's the dummy?
Yeah, why do I care about the f2 pawn when I'm up a bishop? I don't know. So that's why I'm saying maybe rook c3 is a little better for black, trying to pin the bishop to the queen with like something like queen d5. Because it's hard for us to add an attacker. or add a defender. But we could just step out of it with bishop c2.
So what's your line then? Testing line is pawn takes bishop, then what?
Rook c3.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying white does something. I can imagine black playing queen d5 and asking us what we're doing about our bishop being pinned, to which we respond bishop c2 or bishop e2, getting out of the pin. So I'm not really worried about the pin anymore.
Well, okay, so
Not worried about the pin as much.
what happens if, so let's say pawn takes, rook takes.
Yeah.
What if instead,
Struggling to find a good move for black here is my point. I don't know.
so pawn takes, rook takes. And then what is your move?
This might be like an avoiding perpetual puzzle.
A bishop c2?
That was the first, yeah. I mean, maybe rook e1.
Rook e1? That can't be right.
Why not?
That can't
I don't know. I don't know.
Queen b3.
Queen b3?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pawn takes?
I misstated. Queen b6, check.
Uh-huh. King
Right.
a1.
King a1, queen d4.
So here's your perpetual idea. Okay, I gotta go back, right?
To
So king b1.
king b1, and then queen b4. Check again.
Yeah. So this is why my plan was bishop c2
Right.
to go to b3.
Alright, so pawn takes, rook takes, bishop c2.
Uh-huh. Queen b6. And then I was saying bishop b3. I just don't. I guess they can't go to g6. There's a pawn there. Their only checks are like rook takes bishop and rook c1 and queen takes b3. Rook takes b3. That's it.
So this is just easy pawn takes bishop.
Oh,
You don't see it?
I guess. I'm feeling like black's the
So
dominant
actually,
here.
it's a very low, like black is not at all required to play rook takes c, and in fact,
They're not. Yeah.
that can't really be a not like you're gonna play a non-forcing pawn capture.
No, yeah, it's not enough.
It just doesn't seem right for black. So is queen b6 right away the thing, or is there something else?
Well, if queen b6 right away, queen b3.
Okay.
And then I guess they can play queen takes f2. Right?
Well, what about
But-
something else like rook c6 for black, where you're just trying to,
Oh, you on move, like after pawn takes rook
pawn
c6.
takes, rook c6. Doesn't seem like much.
I'm like, maybe I can still play bishop c2.
Yeah, bishop c2 seems pretty effective to stop a lot of what black's trying to do over here. Because he doesn't have a dark square bishop anymore. It seems like the attack's kind of fizzled if you control light squares.
Well, yeah, but how do we control if our bishop's on b3, how do we control the b1 to f5 diagonal? Because our queen might not be able to cover all those squares. We have to play queen f3? Yeah, queen f3, I guess. That covers all those squares.
Could it possibly be anything other than pawn takes bishop?
Oh, we got no checks.
That's one
The
capture.
only other threat I see on the board is rook e1, and I don't know why I'm hanging my rook.
I'm at a loss for that as well. There are other threats. You could play bishop
Yeah,
to
bishop
you
c4,
could play
bishop f5.
Yeah.
Bishop f5, you know, it's a little bit of skewer, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It rhymes with a skewer, yes.
I'm gonna, we got queen takes bishop check. I feel a little dumb for playing that now. But after king a1, you know, maybe they'll let us play.
Actually, bishop b5. You could play that because you're threatening bishop d7.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, you could. I don't know that I am.
Seems
I
bad.
don't think I would.
Yeah, queen e4 check would get you out of the potential skewer.
Yeah.
And it has to renew whatever he's trying to do here.
Yeah, I'd play like.
But we don't see it. We don't see it for black, so.
Okay, I'm taking the bishop. I don't know.
All right, we're just
That's what
done.
I'm
We're
doing.
just done.
That's what I'm
Can't,
doing.
we're just can't believe it.
I'm taking. I know.
Oh,
They
he
played
took
rook
it.
takes c3.
And then we just didn't see what was going on after bishop c2, which actually, now that I look at it, you can't. Queen d8 is a bit of a problem for black too if he's planning on using the rook in any meaningful way. So
yeah, that's what I was saying. Queen d8's a problem, right?
Yeah.
Got to be ready to either play rook c or queen c8 right after that.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one seems to get us out. But I mean,
why are we not playing bishop c2 here?
What do they have else? What else do they have after bishop c2? They've got no other checks, right? They've got rook b3. Rook b3 doesn't do anything.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but is there something what's really bad about bishop e2?
Yeah, right. Like what?
Why isn't that fine?
Bishop e2, you said?
Yeah. I don't know. Why isn't that fine?
Well, I think the line we were looking at was when you play queen b6.
Yeah, king a1. This time the dark diagonal is blocked by the rook.
Yeah, but queen d4, same problem.
No, queen takes queen.
Oh, you said bishop e2. Okay, well, queen f6, same thing, right? You're sitting on the dark diagonal.
Yeah, and they're controlling da, so we don't have that check. Okay, the bishop c2 looks good.
Yeah, shouldn't other things look good? I don't know. Is bishop c2 the only thing?
I'll play bishop c4.
Is there any way to stop? Is there any way to stop queen b6 other than bishop c2? Because if there isn't, I think that's just got to be the solution to the problem. We wonder why it's this hard. Because that's the first thing that jumped to your mind, right?
It was the first thing that jumped to my mind, but I don't know. All right, I'm playing bishop c2.
Was there any other way to stop queen b6?
Maybe the king a1. That's it. But not like
Yeah, king
can
a1,
you play prophylactically.
King a1, queen f6.
Yeah, so no.
So
Not
that
if
makes
it won.
sense. Yeah, so you can't do that.
There's no other way. I mean, unless we control b7. So queen b3. That's pretty bad.
Right. So bishop c2 is the only way. So that means it's the solution to the problem.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see. Yeah, I guess it was lower rated.
That was a little easier. Let's look at the mistakes. How are people getting this wrong? This was easy. Everyone's playing rook e1 on move 2. Okay. So everyone plays this.
Right.
And this does not work because of this. I'm guessing. Let's see.
Yeah. Queen d4 and
Queen d4. I'm going back. And hey, look, they pick up the piece. Because the discovered attacks are such a big threat, you gotta move the king.
yeah. Well, that's what we saw.
Yeah, well.
But why? Yeah, but
I don't know.
but
Easy puzzle.
Bishop c2, bishop d3 was easy fine. So. Yep.
But the point was after rook takes c3, black moves again. He goes queen b6, queen d4, intending a double attack on the bishop. Yep. Okay. Cool. That's what we said.
Oh man.
Here. Gotta work your chops. A more complicated position.
Well. Materials equal. There is a hanging bishop on d6 if you play d takes c.
I was about to say, what about bishop takes bishop, queen takes, d takes c? That's the first thing coming to my mind. With the threat of playing b takes, or c takes b, when they move the bishop, trapping a rook. Okay, they do have e4.
Does it matter?
Moving a defender of our g5 bishop.
I don't know if that matters to be queen on a8, you know. Yeah, because the threat after bishop takes c is bishop takes b, or pawn. I would say pawn takes c is pawn takes b.
Yes. So what? Do people just play? Are people playing d takes c first? Is that what's?
Which would be a huge mistake.
And that's a huge mistake because bishop takes bishop.
Right. So.
And then we play bishop takes bishop. And then it'd be like, yeah, we helped them develop their knight. Or no, well, Yeah, the next move they play knight takes.
No, we're really not thinking through this all the way.
No,
Right?
we're not.
Like, so,
No, we're just like, oh, it's obvious.
yeah, no. So bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes.
Well, can they play queen d7?
What do
Go
you mean?
c5. Well, queen. I was saying queen. Oh no, they can't, because I was thinking d7 is the only square that they defend b7 and the bishop
Right.
that they can actually move to, but the pawn's on c6. So
Right, so it
they
takes
take their
them.
queen. Do we have any checks? No, we have no checks. Any threats? Well, yeah, we already. There are threats and captures at the same time. We also have c4, c5, I guess. I don't. c5 and g4. I didn't really look at those. Also, maybe knight h4, maybe. And we have knight takes e5. So they're all on the Canada move list, but I don't know, man. I'm just playing bishop takes bishop here. This just looks.
I mean, yeah, it
this
just looks
so
like
good.
bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes, and then bishop
I guess
hanging.
the only thing I have to worry about is e4. I haven't really calculated that.
E4, but then c takes b.
Yeah, they take
Pawn
the knight.
takes knight. Pawn takes rook, queen.
And then they take the bishop,
Right.
and then
We take the pawn with the queen. And we're up a queen.
Takes f3. Yep, we're up a queen. They play knight d7. We play queen takes rook. We're asserting dominance.
Right.
And then we win.
That's
that
weird.
position.
Why would this be that easy though? We got another 17 hundo here.
Maybe the 16.
Oh,
I think I'm playing it. I don't know.
All right, Nick's pulling the trigger.
I don't know. What else have they got? Like, are they moving their bishop here? 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 No? Where are you going, man? Okay. Is my queen getting trapped? I don't think so.
Well, here's the key, more key position.
Because now they're going to play e4
Because you're going to
for
play
sure.
e4 now. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we have a way out of this problem? Queen takes bishop. E4. We are currently up one piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
We're currently up 0 pieces, but if you take the bishop,
Oh.
we'll be up the bishop.
But then it looks kind of like they'll get their piece back, because we have knight h4, knight d4, bishop e7. Like, those are the only options that are coming to my mind. I don't really think any of them work. So I'm wondering if I have like a backward retreating queen move that matters. Like queen f4, pawn takes knight, queen takes queen. But no, they play queen takes queen, bishop takes, and then pawn takes knight. That doesn't work. Still dropped a piece. We are up a pawn, but I don't know that it matters because we have double C pawns.
I count 6 and 6.
I just didn't see e5. I don't
Okay.
know how to count.
It's all right.
There's got to be a way out of e4, right? Too bad I didn't see it before I played the previous move, but. E4. struggling for a way out of E4.
Okay.
I guess we could play Queen D5, pinning the pawn to the queen.
Right away?
Yeah, but that doesn't seem to like
Yeah, why would we do
win the
that?
piece.
Why do we do that?
I want to play queen takes queen, and then E5, and then I'm confused. Because, I mean, it seems like any move I make doesn't work. If I play knight D4, knight takes knight, pawn takes knight, queen takes bishop. I don't see how I made progress. If I play knight H4, queen takes knight. I don't see how that's making progress. If I play bishop E7, they can play. Oh, maybe that's it. Bishop E7. If they play knight takes knight,
I mean,
I
that
could
gets
attack.
bishop.
Yeah, knight takes bishop. I can attack their queen. Play knight D4. But is that? Do they have a way to defend the? Like they could play queen F6. That defends their knight. So.
Hmm.
Are you in the same boat as me?
Let's see.
Or no?
Bishop, queen takes bishop. E4. Critical move. Bishop E7. Knight takes. You said knight D4, but even knight H4, same thing. Queen F6. And then just have nothing.
I want to occupy E4, but I can't. G4.
Yeah, good old G4, right? That'll get it done.
For sure.
Oh, how about
D2.
Queen D5?
Queen D5.
Yes, Queen D5. Because if Queen takes Queen, C takes D, which attacks the knight. Solves the problems. Right, because Queen's hanging.
Oh.
Right. If he has to move the Queen, we're protecting the bishop with our Queen. So it solves the problem, right? Queen D5.
Queen D5. So I found Queen D5, but on the wrong move. Not on move 1 here, but on move 2. That makes
Well, that's
sense.
what I'm saying. Queen takes Queen.
No,
Queen takes bishop.
I said Queen D5 now.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I was like, because like Queen D5, like that's the only other way it makes any sense because we're pinning the, they can't push the pawn.
Right.
But no, it's important because if they take our queen, we renew the threat.
Right.
Oh, I hate this one.
There you
Oh,
go. It wasn't even hard. I think this is one where like you do the most obvious things.
This
and
guy,
then-
yeah, you're right.
Yeah. This last move was a bit tricky. That's a cut off of the stream, but Nick's looking at the
Yes.
comments.
This last move was a bit tricky.
Yeah. That wasn't even hard. 1583. I guess the thing is, it might
Yes,
be
it
slow,
is.
but you'll get it right because it's like 3 easy problems, and you know E4's coming. It's obvious enough that you sit there and look at it so you find the right answer. You don't have to see it in advance.
Yeah, we did. We did see it in advance.
No, we didn't.
Oh no, I mean,
I wish we had.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, people probably get to this move, and they're like, man, I don't know what to do.
You probably get right up to there.
And they're like, get up to here, and then they find, oh, it has to be this.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. Because the rest of it's easy.
But like finding
Seeing
it,
that from a distance is not easy.
finding it here was hard for me.
Finding it-
I didn't see it.
Finding it here.
Is like still not seeing.
All right,
Oh.
that's been an hour. 3 puzzles, 1 hour.
Yeah, we only had one
That's,
brownie.
that's exercising right there. You're getting your brain working.
Yeah, how do you feel about these puzzles?
3 out of 3. That's 300% increase in the number of correct puzzles.
That's right.
Nice.
That might be enough puzzles. You want to call puzzles?
Yeah, we can call puzzles. I don't think we need to create any puzzle videos longer than an hour.
For real.
All right.
That was painful.
Yeah,
First
it
one
is.
was especially hard.
Yeah, that was a rough one. All right.
No.
Signing off.
Signing off.